My name is Andrei Tazluanu, but everybody knows me as Andy. I'm 40 years old. I'm originally from Romania, and I've been living in Manchester and calling Manchester my home for the last 9 years or so. I am a professional acrobat, you would call it. I'm an aerialist and a hand balancer, and I currently perform in Manchester at Menagerie Restaurant, but I also perform basically all over the world.
Andy is attempting to break the existing Guinness World Records for the most pull-ups completed in 12 and 24 hours.
Why pull-ups? I think originally it started from seeing David Goggins perform 4,031 pull-ups in 18 hours. Pull-ups came again into my life when I was really in a bad place mentally, and I think they ended up becoming a self-prescribed therapy.
So you chose Prostate Cancer UK as your charity?
My beloved grandfather passed away because of prostate cancer, and my father currently is battling with it. And I felt this would be a perfect way to honor my grandfather's memory and show support towards my dad and what he is going through. And I felt that Prostate Cancer UK is a wonderful charity that helps a tremendous amount of people get through this. When we're talking physically about doing pull-ups, Guinness World Records state that you have to start with just arms straight hanging on the bar. Your chin has to go just above the bar. When you finish a pull-up, you're not allowed to let go of the bar until your arms are completely straight. They also state that your legs are supposed to be straight. However, they do allow a 45-degree bend in the knees. And that's how you successfully perform one pull-up. The Guinness World Records to approve it.
It's fascinating.
When you actually got there on the day, you were suffering with cramps really early on?
I think the reason for the cramps were both physical and psychological as well. I think physically, I don't think I took enough responsibility in making sure that I was properly well hydrated before the attempt. So I definitely put that on myself big time. Psychologically speaking, I think the day itself, I managed to put way too much pressure on myself on the day. It felt like this entire village has come together to support me and watch me succeed. And there was no other outcome other than breaking this record. Whether we like to believe it or not, our mind is connected to our bodies. And I think I think my mind transferred all that to my body.
You had a very intimate relationship with that clock.
Oh, I absolutely had a relationship with that clock. It literally felt that there was nothing else around me except that red second dial that kept going round and round. I think that clock kept me in the game. It felt almost like meditation. You have to go somewhere else mentally in order to keep performing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes!
At around 6:30 p.m, Andy was approaching the current world record for pull-ups completed in 12 hours.
go from feet follow from bum 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 bum. You go from feet follow from bum 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 bum. You go from feet follow from bum.
one of the people that inspired me a lot was Brandon Tucker. He performed 7,715, I think. After Brandon Tucker was Jackson Italiano out of Australia. He was a tremendous amount of help listening to a couple of his podcasts. He did 8,008 pull-ups in 24 hours, and that was fabulous. Truett Haynes was the next person that held the record with 8,100, and his documentaries and his YouTube series definitely have helped me, kind of gauge where I was at in the process. After Truett Haynes, it was Gary Lloyd out of Australia. I do not know much about him. He seems to be a very private person, but he held the record with 8,600. And the current record holder is Kenta Adachi from Japan. He successfully performed 8,940 pull-ups in 24 hours, which sounds absolutely astronomical. Yeah, so I would like to give credit to all of these people before me, because I thought it's good to look behind at what everyone else has done. Yeah, they provided a huge amount of inspiration today.
At 8 p.m, he set a new world record of 6,195 pull-ups in 12 hours, beating the previous record by 455 pull-ups.
Goodness me. When the 12-hour mark came, obviously I wanted to celebrate a little bit of, breaking that 12-hour record. But then suddenly came to the realization that another 12 hours were ahead of me. What I could say is that for the next 2 hours after the 12-hour mark, I still felt pretty good physically and mentally, and I kept going fairly strong.
After the first 12 hours had elapsed, Andy was in uncharted territory.
It ripped, but you can't see it. It's done so well.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the one that hurts the most, weirdly.
The palms start stinging. I think around the 12-hour mark, it's when they really started feeling bad. I had massive blisters, and that is the one thing that I'll always remember, the palms stinging. Because you can't escape it, because every time you get your hands on the bar, you feel it.
10,000.
How did I go about recording the attempt? I think the most important person to have everything set up and ready to go was Phil Bierman. He is the absolute mastermind and genius behind all the cameras, the YouTube live stream, making sure that timings were correct, and just making sure that overall the entire event ran smoothly. Of course, there were a lot of other people involved. We had the witnesses. They were making sure that every follow-up was correct, was performed correctly. And then obviously there were people such as yourself right next to me, making sure that the atmosphere was, one of joy and rather than sadness, and making sure that, I ended up eating properly and hydrating properly. So it was this small army, a small village of people that came together to make this event happen. I think around midnight, I suddenly came to the realization that there were still 8 hours ahead of me. And that is when a little seed of doubt did creep in for a fleeting moment, where I felt, how am I going to be doing, another 8 hours of this? But then again, you just look at the clock, it hits 30 seconds, and you hear a ding, and that's your moment to get on the bar and perform pull-ups. And literally the first thing that came to my mind was, can you see that next step in front of you? Yes, take that next step. And that's what I did for the next 8 hours.
In the middle of the night, the support team were getting concerned for Andy's welfare. He was losing the ability to form complete sentences, becoming faint, and his body temperature was fluctuating rapidly.
Well, I thought I was going to vomit. It was faint.
The decision was taken to be more forceful with nutrition, ensuring that his body could cope with the demands of this immense feat.
8,000.
So everybody that was there, even people that didn't have an official role, started kind of assigning themselves roles. For instance, Brendan's amazing spreadsheet.
He genuinely paced me to the end. I think the last 4 hours of the event were impossible without his guidance. You know, I was in such a bad state. Mathematics was not something that I could perform at all.
It's already hitting the 2:15 figure for a 7 a.m. target.
Amazing.
Hit. He's already 15 minutes ahead.
Approaching 7:30 a.m. and Andy was close to breaking the existing world record of 8,940 pull-ups in 24 hours.
Good. Yeah, we'll see that. We're now equaling records. We need to do more and set your own.
Let's just do one so I can say that, and then I'll have a...
Me too, yeah.
Two strong ones. Let's go. Come on, Andy. Yes.
The last hour of the event felt a bit, not a bit, strange. I was completely in a trance. I was still focusing on performing every 30 seconds. I knew that I was going to surpass Kento's record with I think half an hour to go. I think I finished breaking it. Mixed emotions. I was incredibly tired. I was suffering badly. My arms were absolutely dying. And I knew that out of respect for him, I couldn't just finish breaking his record by just 10 pull-ups. I had to push on a little bit more than that.
The only question remaining, how much could he beat that record by, with his body in such a huge amount of pain, suffering from exhaustion and sleep deprivation?
And I remember watching back some of the videos. I think someone in the crowd, it might have been Maria, mentioned something about 9,001. Sounds like a really good number. And I do remember thinking to myself, yes, I like the sound of that 9,001.
Think how good 9,001 will feel.
Yes, keep it going. Come on, you got this. Half the time, make it. Well done. 9,001. Unless you get some more pennies out of it. We done. We done. Yeah.
If I were to do this attempt again, I would completely do everything differently. Absolutely. Everything that's related to training, to the approach, nutrition and hydration, absolutely changed it all completely. yes, I would definitely be a lot more interested in making sure that the calories are going in properly. Hydration is done properly. In regards to the pull-ups themselves, I believe that I didn't treat the race as a endurance race. I did treat it more of a sprint, especially in the first 12 hours. So if I were to do it again, I would pace myself a little bit more. I would take more breaks, shorter breaks, and definitely keep on top of nutrition and hydration. The things I've learned attempting this record, I found out a lot of things about myself. I used to think of myself as the perfect procrastinator, leaving things unfinished, leaving things undone. And through training and having a clear goal and an objective in front of me, I realized that I'm not that kind of person. I can get things done and I can bring things to fruition. So I've learned things about myself. But one of the more important things that I've learned is I've learned that there are people around me that care deeply about me and want what's best for me. Knowing that there are people that care about you that deeply is a wonderful feeling. And I think that's the thing that I gained most. Oh my goodness me, there are so many people that I would like to thank. And I would like to please apologize to anyone if I dare to forget someone, but I will start with Phil. Thank you so very much, Phil, for all your hard work. It was an immense task that you put together. I would like to thank all the witnesses. So Zoli, Faye, Zoe, Luana, Holly, Simon, Louise, Audrey, Pete. Goodness me, who else am I needed to thank? I'd like to thank Maria for taking care of Thomas, for keeping me, honest and, making sure that I'm okay. I'd like to thank you, Tori. I'd like to thank Ashley, Megan,
And of course Helena from Totem Gymnastics for hosting the event.
Brendan, goodness me, Craig for keeping me healthy throughout all these massive training sessions. I'd like to thank my family, mom and dad, my sister, my brother, my sister's fiance as well, because during all my training sessions, they were there on FaceTime, keeping me company. My best mate, Obdan, for always just being on FaceTime. Are you okay? Do you eating? How are things? I hope I've not missed anyone. But the last person that I do want to thank is Thomas, my little boy. I think he's been such a tremendous amount of energy and exuberance, and never once did I hear him say, I don't think you can do it. He's always been, Daddy, I know you're gonna do this. You're gonna do it. I know you're gonna break the record. And you know what? Throughout the entire event, that's all he said. I know you're gonna do it. I know you're gonna do it. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to express my deepest gratitude and thanks to absolutely everyone that was there on that day, because I would have never been able to do any of it without everyone there.
You're a phenomenal human,